Everything nasty anywhere on the ship runs down the side of it into the
true.
Into the bilges. So yeah, it's gross.
Sounds absolutely horrifying.
Yes, it is.
That's why it's punishment work.
Gosh. Sandara asks, now, do you have any further questions before we go on to the evening's entertainment? Is there time to ask anything about anything?
And what brought you to the Wormwood? Was it your divine seeking?
No, of course not. They found me in Kent, and I suspect, much like you got the cinnamon punch, eh?
I did.
Well,
got punched by something, but I don't remember cinnamon in it.
She says, I mean the drinks that they gave you were poisoned with sleeping powders.
I remember it because it was that last little lingering taste in the back that when you taste cinnamon, usually something doesn't belong in alcohol.
Oh, I rather disagree. However, I will say this instead. Since I've come aboard last week, Master Scourge has been somewhat closer to me than I would like. And just before you woke up, I had gotten done slapping him in the face. He's getting a little too close to me, and my goddess gave him the right proper side of an ear-piercing scream, she says with a chuckle. And you should watch out for that one. Master Scourge is no good. Now,
he was a little uncomfortably close to me as well, though the context might be a bit different.
We hope.
Yes, I have fresh new scars today, thanks to his generosity. Let's see.
any other questions?
Can
About how things
tell me
on the ship
about the math gunner. I noticed that some of her catapults seem to have a little wear and tear.
Ah, Riaris Kroon. You saw old Peggy wandering around. That's what they call her, because she has a peg leg, and she's a woman. Old Peggy. Well, she's a rather harsh woman. I expect you'll be hearing from her soon. She likes to give the crew drills on boarding actions. There's not much to tell there. She's completely and utterly loyal to Captain Barnabas Harrigan as one of his officers. Keeps to herself mostly.
Is there a soft spot that Barnabas Harrigan has? Is he partial to a particular beverage or food?
Not that I know of. You would have to ask his steward, his what do they call it?
First mate?
Boy?
A cabin boy. It's a cabin girl, and she's about 30 years old. Her name is Kulki. She serves him exclusively and tests his food for all poisons, and his drink as well. She almost never leaves his cabin. I don't think there's anything going on there, but if you're looking to find the key to Barnabas Harrigan's heart, it's behind her door. Because her door is in front of his. You have to go through her cabin to get there.
Speaking of poisons, how's the general quality of food on the ship?
Oh, absolutely terrible. Ship's biscuit all day and fish stew at night. Occasionally they might spice it up with some rum. That's about it. The food here is terrible. I had to say today's food was better than average. They must have a new cook down there who's of at least average or mediocre quality.
That would be me.
Might it benefit from being purified?
Oh, no, I mean, the food isn't, diseased. It's just terrible tasting. And besides, if I wanted my food purified, I could do it myself. I'm a cleric.
Do you get fresh drinking water on the ship often?
Oh, yeah, of course. They send out boats to fresh water to fill up the barrels. I'm sure that's a duty you'll be seeing soon. I did it myself last week.
But you're a cleric.
Yes, I know, but they don't trust clerical water. Pirates are very superstitious. Even as a Besmaran cleric, I find it amazing that pirates would not drink of cleric water. But that is the tradition and the superstition of our people. Perhaps one day when you're a captain, you can do something about it.
Perhaps.
That that gnome with the eye patch. What was his name again?
Oh, Conchabar. Old Conchi.
Conchi. Okay. And what is his general role on the ship?
Well, when he's not trying to seduce Rosie, he generally wanders around, attempting to womanize, and he's a rigger. I think Sifri probably saw him up in the mast today.
Yep.
Conchabar, of course, is a professional gambler who thinks only about himself. I believe he joined the crew when he was gambling with the ship's officers one night in Port Peril and didn't notice that Master Scourge had a sap in his hand and beat him unconscious.
Nice.
In fact, he joined just the day before you guys. You can see he's quite fresh.
So we're all relatively new here.
Indeed, indeed. It's how the life of a pirate.
Dare I ask what happened to the last crew?
Well, that's a tale of telling. You have a good captain here. He may seem like an evil man, and he is. But Captain Barnabas Harrigan sailed against the Chilaxian fleet, was captured, escaped, and demasted 3 of the raiders that were coming after him. Managed to pull out of Thrune Harbor with just the Wormwood and 2 other prisoners. Quite amazing if you ask me. Made his way all the way back to the Shackles all alone. He's a pirate hero on top of being a pirate lord.
That explains why he's so well respected.
Doesn't bode well for us, though.
Yes, he's quite powerful. Very powerful. If I had to rate his power level, I would say he's almost mythic in power. I've seen him kill a half-dozen men in less than 10 seconds.
Wow.
He's very fast with his sword.
I'm kind of like taken back by that, eyes go wide, and this is not a man to be trifled with.
That should give you an idea of how many attacks around he has, by the way.
So, poison's the way to go?
Yeah, something other than combat. Darn it.
I have an idea. Kind of, sort of. It might be easier with the acquisition of a certain elixir, but I think it could work all the same. I'm pretty decent with poisons myself.
Sandara stops you and says, "Poison's not the way to do this. Even if you remove him, the officers will keelhaul all of you. You'd best just keep your head and wait for an opportunity to present itself to rise through the ranks, I think."
Yeah, about that keel hauling. Is this a common punishment?
Murder or, well, basically murder is keel hauling. Mutiny is keel hauling. Actually, mutiny is triple keel hauling. I don't think anyone's ever survived that.
People have survived single keel hauling?
Oh yes, it's quite survivable.
But the other crew members are generally okay with people getting keel hauled frequently? It seems like it would have a certain amount of wear and tear on the crew.
Well, I know that you might be of a gentler sort of folk, but there are some who enjoy that sort of thing. She looks over at Master Scourge.
Yes.
Anyone else have any other questions before we move to pirate entertainments for the night?
Thank you for your time. You've been most helpful. Hopefully we can speak again tomorrow.
So, now you can make your choice as to how many nighttime actions you would like to make. So each player will need to do that individually. If you make more than one, however, you do have to start making those fatigue checks.
So, speaking of fatigue, turns out I get to make a DC 20 fortitude check each day I don't get gold to determine if I'm going to be fatigued or not the next day.
Right.
Do you want me to roll that so then I can run around at nighttime with impunity because I know I'm already fatigued, or do you want to roll that so I have the surprise in the morning?
No, you can roll it. That's fine.
Yay! I will never sleep again!
I want to point out that fatigue stacks and becomes exhausted.
I want to point out that I failed all of my duties so far.
You've only done one. You only had one duty. You seem to be so set on trying to work yourself out of the place you have in the crew. It's awesome. You haven't even
Yeah, I
asked the
don't
most important
do
question.
manual labor.
The
Yes,
one
you're
question
right.
you
The
should have
most
asked was, is there another spellcaster on the ship?
I'm sorry. Most important question. With my charisma score, is there anyone who finds human females attractive among the officers?
Yeah, sure. Master Scourge and Mr. Plug are always looking for new friends.
I was hoping for the gunner, actually.
Riaris Kroon is a woman, and
I fail to see
does
how
not-
that makes a difference.
she does not swing her cannon that way.
Spoil sport.
So,
All right. Well, we'll see how tomorrow's duties go, and then that decision will be made.
all right. So
What about Albert?
Who is going first, and what actions are you taking?
What is gambling? What does that entail?
Pirate entertainments. All right, my favorite part of the night.
Like, I want to know what it is first.
There will
It
be a
just says-
contest. In order for it to happen, one of the other players will have to attempt a pirate entertainment or play. You either play or gamble. Someone will have to play a game of chance with the other pirates, and then everyone else can gamble on that. All of the entertainments are harmful. There's arm wrestling on top of 2 barrels, but the barrels are both covered in broken glass.
Ooh.
There's the hog lobbing, which is a lead ingot covered in greased pigskin that is tossed as far across the deck as possible. Sometimes, since you're throwing against your opponent, you might slide it into them, by accident of course. And finally there's heave, which is known to be an extremely deadly game. There are nights when heave is played on pirate ships, and the next morning they're found as ghost ships, with the entire crew dead. Heave is a game of rum that takes place between any number of pirates who want to participate. Each pirate has to drink a half pint of rum and keep drinking until only one person is left standing, which means they could take enough constitution damage to kill themselves. And indeed, normally, at least one person does. So if there's someone you don't particularly like, you could attempt to challenge them to heave. You know, as long as you don't value your own life.
Stiffrig? I think
I'm
you
all
can
over
win
that
it.
one, man.
I think you can win any drinking contest.
Yeah, you know, do that contest against Master Scourge, and we would basically gain an ally by subtraction.
Well, Didn't you
So-
wind up on the ship in the first place by losing a drinking contest?
Oh, only because somebody cheated.
So the other thing to note is that you can't challenge officers to these games. They have their own
Oh.
entertainments in their rooms at night.
Oh, so we're just challenging
That
the
just
rank and
sounded
file.
so wrong.
Other
All
crew
right.
members.
Well, I'll try the pig tossing.
Okay, is there anyone in particular you'd like to challenge?
Can't challenge the officers. No, I don't think so. If I can't challenge one of the officers, then I don't think it'll matter.
Okay. Then you are up against two individuals. One's named Jack Scrimshaw, and the other is Ratline Ratsberger. Jack is a Scrimshaw swab. Whenever he isn't swabbing, he is making Scrimshaw down in the hold. And Ratline is a rat-faced halfling who was in the rigging with you tonight. You notice that 3 of his fingers are missing, and he bears a thieves' tattoo on the back of his hand from Kadira. So, as you will have entered yourself in to gamble, would anyone like to gamble on this event?
What are we gambling exactly? Our run
would-
rations?
You know, you gamble money.
We don't
But we don't
have,
have
any
money.
Not my problem.
Better hope we
can lie
pick the
about
right
it.
The
horse.
minimum bet among pirates is a gold piece.
Better hope we pick the right horse on the first go.
I'm not going to bet.
Okay, so it sounds
Do
like
physical props count for anything?
nope. So Sifrig,
Oh.
no one's betting at all because obviously no one has any money. So Sifrig, you perform with no one betting on you. The entire crew is betting on Ratline.
Oh,
Those are
Okay.
terrible odds.
So,
How does
you
that
guys
work?
rock.
Who would take those bets?
Like, hey, Ratline win, we all get our money back.
yeah, and everybody gets the.
Well, I'm telling
Nobody
you guys
bets
this.
on me, huh?
I'm
All
telling
right.
you this out of character. You don't really know who it is, but basically everyone is favoring Ratline. You're going to have to make a CMB check with a -4 penalty unless you have throw anything.
I have +1 with any
Improvised weapon.
improvised weapon, but I don't have throw anything.
So you get your improvised weapon bonus.
Okay. All right.
Still take the
So
-4.
my base CMB is 6. I am going to rage for the throw. And -3 for the penalty, so +3. Wow, that's terrible. I'd forgotten how bad it is being first level again. Oh,
Okay.
no.
So in a surprise upset,
Wow.
both the big guy, Sifrig, and Ratsberger toss
Natural
their pigskins
one.
at each other. And they just kind of roll on the deck. And Jack Scrimshaw does like a Heisman and tosses it and hits Ratsberger in the face from
Oh.
8 feet away with this greasy pig iron. Everyone laughs about it except for Ratsberger, who shakes his head. But you have failed.
Wow.
Everyone has a good time though, and the crew seems to be accepting Sifrig more than any of the other crew members currently. I'm sorry,
Gotta get out and
any of
get
the
dirty,
other party
y'all.
members. So, who would like to? Are you going to take any other checks tonight, Sifrig, or is that just going to be your one?
Does it?
If you continue
that
to take
count as
checks, you'll have to make the penalty. If you read the ship's action all the way down at the
Okay.
bottom.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. This will count. Playing it one time counts as a single action.
That's correct.
Okay. Then I'll be done.
All right. Who's up next?
I'll go. I want to entertain the crew by leading them in a rousing selection of sea chanties.
Very well. Make a perform check. So your
Nice.
song's nothing special, but you do succeed at your pirate for the night, which earns you, I think it's 100 XP. First time you succeeded at pirate entertainment. So allow me to upgrade your sheet.
Nice.
And the crew is all shantying with the sea.
Okay, and then once the sing-along is finished, I'm going to do a second action and attempt to influence the quartermaster.
Alright, you will need to make your constitution check for the night then. It is DC 14 for your first check.
Okay.
Yo ho!
Oh.
You are fatigued for the entire next day.
Yep.
You may now attempt to influence the quartermaster. When you arrive in the hold, she is currently sleeping drunk at the shop.
Oh, she's already sleeping.
You would know that she's still supposed to be on duty.
Can I change to poking through the shop and seeing what's available?
So the shop door is also the window. It's like a two-part, and she's leaning up against the door with only, the top part of the door open. Am I describing
I'm
this right?
impressed that she's able to stay to sleep in that position, but...
Yep, standing up, yep.
Alright, I go over and wake her up.
She says, blah. And she throws up again on the floor in front of you and then downs some more rum. And says, a hearty welcome to you. What's your name again?
My name is Sarisa. We had a mighty fine sing-along tonight, but it would only be better if we had a little rum to make the music flow.
Yeah, where's all the rum gone? We've only got about 300 pounds left.
Only 300 barrels? That's terrible.
Mess it up.
Sometimes you have a pining for something other than rum.
Oh,
He wanted
I
to
have
look
a
for
powerful
something.
pining. I would surely love some rum or non-rum substance. Anything that's not rum related would be amazing.
You wouldn't happen to know where a girl could find some. Sadly, when we
next
came
time we
aboard the
make
ship,
port.
I happened to lose a few of my possessions.
Oh, it's too bad, too bad. All your gear belongs to the captain now.
Oh, but I don't suppose he might be willing to let me borrow it back so that I could then go out and procure rum or non-rum related alcoholic beverages. I mean, look at me. I'm so weak and wobbly. I can't do anything without my gear.
Oh, this is so painful, Lorraine. Can make your... I don't know whether you're bluffing or whether you're making a diplomacy check.
I am utterly literate that I am pretty much useless.
Okay.
But I'm pretty.
Alright, so you're
welcome.
what you're asking for is a form of aid from her.
Yep.
So you're making a diplomacy check for aid. And she says, alright. Okay. Here you go. And she brings your gear out and says, no, don't let the captain see you with it.
I'll
I
be
still
very
don't
careful.
like you.
I'll make sure to have a little extra rum next time, and thanks for your Trade.
All right. Is anyone updating the crew list on the spreadsheet for who you guys have helpful and not helpful?
I got Scourge and Croup. Grok
Guess I'm not
is
seeing it.
Grok is unfriendly, I guess.
Oh, you put it underneath the loot list. That's what it is.
Oh.
Down at the bottom, there's tabs.
Oh.
Can you guys see those?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Crew list.
Cutthroat Grok is currently indifferent towards you. You realize that if she was made helpful, she would be a powerful ally.
Yeah.
While you're there, Sarissa, Grok offers to loan you about 150 gold pieces. If you would like.
What's the terms of repayment?
Just you pay it back in full. Your check was so exceedingly good.
Alright, I take
She's not your friend, but you've been very good at convincing her that you need help aboard the ship.
Wow.
Okay, so please mark down somewhere that you currently have a loan from Cutthroat Grok for 150 gold pieces.
Wow, very nice.
Where's it?
Tomorrow we can gamble.
And there's a little boxes at the bottom, tabs at the very bottom of the screen.
The very bottom of the Roll20?
No,
at the very bottom of the spreadsheet.
Yeah, there's different tabs.
The spreadsheet has tabs, named tabs.
Duh. Of course. Crew list is in...
As you might notice, there is an XP tab as well.
Ah.
So, any other action tonight, Sarissa?
Nope.
Okay, who is next up on the chopping block?
Well, I'm going to attempt to influence Rosie Cusswell if she is available and learn some pirate stories from her so I can entertain the crew maybe the following night.
Alright, so you spend some time with good old Rosie Cusswell. She is available and is quite willing to keep your company, if only to put you in between her and Conchabar.
Awesome.
She
Tell me
talks
some
about halfling tales. She tells you the story of a famed captain, a halfling hero. His name is Free Captain Atticus Styles of the Andorra Navy. Atticus Styles saved her whole family and hundreds of other halfling families in his time in the Great Corsairs when he was shipping halflings out of Chilaxian ports and to freedom in Andor and places beyond, until some foul devil dragged him down and got him fired. And now he's on the run for his life as the Andorran Senate attempts to hunt him down. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
I just know that
the tale cuts surprisingly close to home.
Yes, it does. That family is first, and anything that could be done to learn the truth about your family and protect them from those that might harm them, or whose actions had dire consequences, should be warned.
She says, "Oh, I know all about protecting I like." And then as you look closely at her picture, you notice she has a hand axe around her belt. And she says, "I've made a living, or I've made a name for myself here by threatening to cut off the hand of anyone who messes with me or my axe."
Well, I would like to extend a friendship. I want to be able to be a service to you, and hopefully one day you can return the favor. I don't have a favor in mind. I just I'm new here, and I want to gain friends before we get into some sticky situations.
She says, "Well, actually, if you were able to get my fiddle back, we'd be friends forever."
That is on my highest priority.
Okay, if you'd like to make your diplomacy check now.